What's happening, party people? Welcome to my weekend review. Man, a lot going on this week, especially in this video, but shoot, man, it's so hot it's hard to work. I worked on an 850, hard to start, did not get it started, have not had the time to get back to it, but you can see some of the troubleshooting in here. Had a junkyard run, ran into a V70R, seen that 850 93 model, has nice headlight lenses and stuff like that on there. People like parts from that thing. I'm surprised more people didn't ask me to get stuff off of there. I repaired my flashlight, and man, that was a little bit interesting, but it's working good now. I'm glad of that. Now, when I was out at the junkyard, I did it live, and there's a guy named Mark Amston, something like that. He asked me to get the trunk seal from that car. I got the trunk seal, paid for it, hadn't heard from Mark. I got another part that somebody asked me to get, hadn't paid for. So, Mark, if you're watching this, hit me up, pay for the seal, man, or send me the money to ship it to you. I didn't need a trunk seal. You asked me to get it. Man up and get it off my books. I'd appreciate it. Other than that, it's just a lot of fun, a lot of information. I worked on my trailer. I bought some paint locally, had them mix it up. They didn't do a good job, so I had to order some from somewhere else. So got a lot of different things going on, staying busy. I appreciate you all support. As you know, I got my play button from YouTube, and I'm just, trying to get stuff done on these cars out here. Mainly focusing on this yellow one. After I do that, I gotta rebuild a couple of engines and keep moving from there. So appreciate you watching. Thanks for your support. Thank the new members. I got like 3 or 4 people that joined the YouTube side of it. Hadn't had anybody join the Patreon side of it for a little while. And Patreon is cutting people off after a year or two of membership, making them confirm that they still want to keep their membership, which is a good thing. I think it's good for them to just not tap people for the rest of their life without reminding them, hey, you got a subscription here. So that's a good thing. So, hey, I appreciate your time. I got to get to work. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you could click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. It is time to get with it. Not supposed to rain today, but it probably will tomorrow. We missed the thunderstorms last night. They just went south of us. Took the canopy down because it was getting windy, and it was about to start blowing that thing away. First thing I'm going to do is the passenger side CV axle on this S60. Man, that thing is shaking. I believe that's what it is. Anyway, making noise and shaking, vibrating. That thing is a little bit of a pain to get out. There's a bolt on there that's probably a 30-minute bolt. I got it out of the other car, but it wasn't fun. So let's get with that. It's, man, about 7:20. I wish I'd have got started an hour or two ago, but went for my walk, had a little breakfast, and this is where I'm at. Let's get cracking. If you're doing this DIY, set the rear parking brakes, put some wheel stops there. I have some over there I'll put there. I normally break the lug nuts loose with the car on the ground. If you're only jacking up one side, it's not a big deal, but if you jack up both sides, sometimes the wheel tries to turn when you try to break the lug nuts loose. Because it has a special locking lug nut, it's not advisable to use impact gun because you could break that tool. You jack the vehicle up from right there, where that little space is, put a jack stand under it, take the wheel off. Let's go do that. So this is where you jack it. There's a little cut in the plastic rocker panel here that you put the jack, a perfect fit for a floor jack. Several places under here you can put your jack stand. I put mine there. You can put it up here in this pinch wheel. You can put it actually on this pinch wheel, but you just want to avoid getting it supported on something that's plastic. And go ahead and finish taking your wheel off. Next, I'm going to take this outer control arm loose. Got a bolt there. It's got a holding Allen there. Then I'm gonna tap it with my sledge, pop it loose. Then I'm going to take this steering angle thing loose. Looks like an 8mm there on that bracket. Unhook that so it don't get damaged when we try to get this control arm loose from the bottom of the knuckle. Then we'll take the bolt off of here and pry this control arm down to get it out of this knuckle. I don't have any way to spread it, so they'll just have to pop it out of there somehow. And then after that, I'll take this bolt out here, which looks like a 13. The tough thing is the two bolts back there on the curve. You see one there. This one down here really didn't have much room to put anything on it. So that's gonna be a challenge. Let me get this loose and take this bolt out, take that bracket off, and then pick it up from there. Put some penetrant on it. I used to use this stuff liberally. Now I use it kind of sparingly. So I put some on all three of these things that I'm getting out. This was, I don't know, maybe out not long ago, but I'm gonna put a little bit on that one too. Not as rusty as those things normally look. So I got that out. It's a 21 nut. Tapped on the knuckle till it fell out. Trying to get that bolt, but that bolt looks like a 21. So I'd like to get a little room in it. So I pulled this axle bolt out, 13mm, cleaner than I thought. And it looks like somebody's got some kind of grease in here. So this should not be stuck. So I'm gonna try to tap that in a little bit to give me a little room to maybe put a socket on here and get that out. So let's see if that works out for me. We tap it in with a extension, 1/2 inch extension. It went in about a 1/2 inch, that's about it. So let me see if I can find a 21-inch box in and get on that nut back there and remove it. Now somebody's had this out for some reason or another. Doesn't look like it was replaced. It looks like an old axle, but we'll see. Okay, so I set this back in here to stabilize this. I put a 21 box on there and it is coming out. Taking little stabs at it. Wasn't too tight at all. Now, sometimes it'll try to twist on you while you turn it out. If that's the case, put something under here, jack this up a little bit, the control arm, and that sometime will hold it for you so it won't twist out. So let me finish taking this out and then I'll tore my glove already. These gloves, they tear really easy. There it is, 21. Now I'm gonna tap this control arm down with something. Get this back out of the way here. You could check your tie rod ends. If they don't have any in and out movement at all, they're probably good. Even though it's getting worn, it's falling down. Shake this, see if it's super loose. If it's super loose, you may need to replace that outer tie rod end, but they're okay for now. Wouldn't be bad to replace them soon. All right, so let me get something, tap this down gently, get it out of here, and then this should pivot out of the way so I can pull this axle out here and work on those two bolts in there on the carrier. Now some mechanics have a tool to start spreading this apart. I don't have it, so I got to tap it out of there. Now once it becomes loose, I'm gonna have to pry it down with a pry bar to get it to come all the way out of there, but I'm just trying to break it loose for now. I don't think I could get this thing to pop loose, so I hit it with MAP gas. I hit it from the thread in for about 30 seconds. Then I beat that thing with that for another 30-40 whacks. Then I felt it vibrating. Now when I put my pry bar in here, it's loose. But I gotta let it cool off before I can pull it out because it's hot. I was able to pry it up with my standard large I don't know if that's a 2.5 foot or 3 foot. Let's see here. 8, 16, 24-inch pry bar. You're better off with a giant one. That's your standard large, and I did get it out. Now I can push that through and work on those 2 bolts. Let me work on those 2 bolts. This kind of holds it out of the way like this. So that bottom bolt, near impossible. I put a swivel ratcheting 10mm on it. I used a 14 or 13, whatever, for a cheater. I broke it loose. Now I just got to work it out slowly but surely with that thing. I'm going to take the top one out before I get that tool stuck in that bottom one. It will get stuck at some point. So that's how I'm doing it. I turned it out about halfway with the tool. Then I was able to turn it the rest of the way out with my finger. Twisted it to the side, dropped out of the way. Pushed the CV axle the rest of the way out. I'm gonna prep the other one that's gonna go in. I'm gonna pull this one out, put the other one in. Hopefully I won't lose any fluid, but I'm gonna put a pan under there just in case. Well, I haven't removed this catch, so maybe I won't. But anyway, let me go prep the other one. You gotta make sure you have this dust boot on here. This one was kind of stuck on there when you put the new one in. I don't know if there's an in and out. Doesn't seem like it. Put some sort of anti-seize paste on there so it don't get stuck, and swap them out. It should just pull out now that that carrier is removed. I had to hold the knuckle assembly out to get that thing in and out, so I propped it up like that. Do it however you need to. I got it slid all the way in. Ready to put that carrier on. I'm gonna leave it like this so I can reach in that carrier. However, the sway bar inlet came apart when I did that, so I'm gonna try to replace these. I don't know if I have one on hand that'll fit this or not, but hopefully I do. They don't look like any different from most of them, so let me see if I have one. Let me reach in here and put this carrier on here, tighten that up, and then try to thread the needle on this stuff. Probably gonna put some more grease up to these parts here to prevent that from rusting in there and getting stuck. I do not have an end link that'll fit that, but I gotta get one ordered. All right, let me pivot that around, see if I can get it locked back in place for now, and get this stuff installed. Going on our test drive. Sounds quieter. We're going to hit the highway, see if we have any vibrations. But it sounds like it's rolling nice and smooth, which is good. Especially for a CV axle that may have had 195,000 miles on it and was in a collision on that side. Man, this S60 is rolling rough once you get above 60 miles an hour. I'm taking it up to Discount Tires to have it road force balanced to see if they can find something wrong with it. Other than that, man, it could be a driver's side CV axle, but it's shaking whether you got pressure on it or not. It's just coasting shaking. See my hand? Up around 75, 80, it feels horrible. I don't know if the image stabilization will wipe this out, but I'm getting a massage here on my left hand. So we're going up to Discount, see if they can find anything wrong with any of these wheels or tires, and go from there. This car has picked up tar, all in the tread of the tire. Gob over there, gob of it in his hand. That can throw your balance and all. This car is riding smooth. Smooth. Discount Tire to the rescue. Look how steady that hand is. I could fall asleep driving this car. Oh yeah. Perfect. Today is about to turn into another honeydew day. I was thinking about working on that wagon over there, then starting on the yellow car. Mita wants to do the trailer. That's a honeydew. That's not any profit to us. Beautification, yes. Profit, no. So I'm getting ready to move this stuff, move that trailer up in this spot here so that it's less wind getting to it. Then we're probably going to power wash it, fix any dent damage we can fix on it, and then paint it. That's what it looks like going to happen today. So let me get started because it's supposed to rain this evening. Here I started a live video on YouTube so that I could do a time lapse of me getting some work done. And I think my internet connection to our network is bad. For one, it had poor camera quality. And for number two, it would just randomly shut down and stop recording. And then when I get back to the camera and seeing that, there'll be a lot of footage I missed. So even though it was running along here fine, it seemed like it was anyway. When I went to move this car dolly and move my trailer, the camera wasn't going at all. It had stopped recording live on YouTube. And even though I wasn't published live, I was unpublished live, and I was going to take those videos and download them to my software here, put them in there and time lapse them. Well, it didn't quite work out the way I wanted to, so I'm going to try to correct that in the future. Well, seems like I lost internet, so it paused. Anyway, I got the trailer up here. I got the tow dolly over there. I'm going to go get a water break. Lost a lot of sweat. Then I'm going to start getting this thing ready for painting on the outside. I'm going to power wash it first. I'm going to make that another video. Here I am again making rookie mistakes. I was recording live again on YouTube, but I forgot to reverse the camera, and it's not recording what I'm doing in the video. However, the trailer's a little banged up, found some dents in it, a couple of creases, a few things misaligned. So I decided to try to straighten some of this stuff out so that it could be straightened out before I painted it. And, you know, just try to get it look decent. This trailer was probably made around, 1987 or whatnot, and it's been in use for several years. The last guy that had it before me used to do boat detailing, so I got it from him, and I'm trying to get it straightened out.
Sorry. Okie dokie.
Then you can pinstripe it. Wrap some vinyl on it after I'm done painting.
Yeah, some wrap.
Well, pinstripe. Then if you got some graphic design, that too, I guess.
See this since you want to put the logo on it?
Yep. Yes, she did.
Is it right here?
Yep. We had to stop for about 20 minutes. It's all dry. Yes. That's when it's too hot, when it dries that quick. It rained hard. We had to run. We had to run.
We had to run it. You went out Friday night.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, she wanted to go to like this all white, like nice bourbon restaurant.
Yeah, you told us that.
I told you about
So here I am trying to decide what I'm going to do next. And man, it's decisions to make, trying to figure out how nice I'm going to make this trailer. Now the trailer is just a utility trailer, mainly to carry parts and maybe some tools back and forth, but being that it's unsecure, I'm not real thrilled about putting too much stuff of value in it, but hey, Mita really would like to get this gross stuff out of the car, so that's what we're aiming to do. Yep, it's coming out though.
Thanks again.
My neighbor hollered at me, and I'm continuing to work, trying to get this thing straightened out a little bit more. I got my floor jack in there, working on it with some wood, banging on it a little bit with hammers, trying to make these creases correct again. And this thing does really good when it's closed, keeping water out of it. So me straightening it out a little bit will both make it look a little better and be a little more weatherproof. So I'm gonna do what I can, and it'll look 100 times nicer than it does. It's not gonna be a smooth, orange peel free paint job, but it'll be nice.
I got your top of the tent. You want to put the tent?
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
You put it right here. On top of this box, side. Are you videotaping?
Yeah. Man, let me tell you something. It has been very hot out here, so we're gonna put this tent up. And like I said in the comment, there's some rain supposed to come through, and the shade is going to help a lot. We got a fan blowing from inside the garage out towards our work area. It's got a couple creases in it, one here and one here, and that's causing it to still sag that little bit. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, but I'm gonna try. So I just got finished explaining to Mita that, man, to get this thing looking decent and sealed up a little bit, I gotta get some of these creases out of it, and that way the lid will close right, it'll be tighter, and it'll have a more weatherproof seal, so that when we're towing it along the back of the car, if we're going through rain or something, it'll keep all the crap out of it. So we're going to get it looking decent, like I said, and just have something we could use for several years. The thing about it is we'll always need to find somewhere to park it when we arrive somewhere. Testing 1 and 2. Anybody's watching this live? Watching this live. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are we live? Are we live? We've scrubbed this with oil eater. It's drying. We scrubbed the top, oil eater, inside and out. It's drying. Getting ready to do the wheels. We took a light off of there. Both of those lights, clean those up. So, getting ready to prime this thing. Knocked a bunch of dents out of it. Knocked a bunch of loose paint off of it. This thing's got some body damage on it, but hey, it is what it is. We're trying to make it decent, not look like a whole piece of junk. So I'm gonna let that live run. Hopefully it'll run while we work. Had to restart the live again. We had a rain blow through, so it's gone, blown by. Mita's getting a little distracted cleaning Lucille. How much I got done? A little bit more than half of the side and the whole front. That's primed. It should be dry. I hit a little bit down here. Man, it feels dry. That's awesome. So, I'm going to go shake the yellow and spray the yellow and see how it comes out. I think I was going to do this black, but I think I'm going to go ahead and paint it yellow and see what happens. Let's get this thing set up for you guys. Whatever you do, you make sure you respirator up, not mask up. Respirator. Respirator. A mask is not enough. A mask is not enough. You need a respirator. You need a respirator for painting. Your lungs depends on it. I got a runner right there. I got a runner, folks. A tape just got clogged. That's This stuff is way too light. Let me check the other can I got in there. Well, it was a real pain in the butt trying to spray with that local stuff. It just didn't want to come out of the can. I shook and shook that stuff and fought with it. And when I realized it was way too light, I went in the garage and got the can of yellow that they gave me when I purchased lemonade. Man, the stuff shook up well. It came out a lot better. As you can see, I kept my respirator mask on. And this yellow is actually correct. And I wish I had several more cans of it, but it's probably going to be more cost effective to use some kind of sprayer. Now, I use my vacuum cleaner on the blowing cycle to blow it dry, trying to help it dry fast. I got a serious problem with the paint I had from long ago, which looks a little on the orange side. And the paint I just picked up, that's a little on the light side. This looks like the paint when it faded. This looked like a decent coat of it. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna hit it with clear. I'm not gonna hit this with clear because that looks like it needs to be repainted. So I'm gonna take the paint I got back up there and tell them the color was off. Then I'm going to take the old paint that I got here and see if they can match it with that. Because that's a lot better. I started off down there. And then I decided to do the top. But, man, I would probably need 4 or 5 cans of that stuff to do this right. So, I'm probably going to see if they could get closer to this. And if not, I'm going to have to order some. Hopefully it'll all match. I could paint this thing and it'll look decent. Because I like that color down there. And up here, it's closer to what it's supposed to be. That is popping. I'm out for now. Well, here's the trailer coming along. We did some repairs on the trailer. We did some sanding on the trailer. We did some cleaning on the trailer. We did some more cleaning on the trailer. We did some more repairs on the trailer. Then I primed with self-etching primer automotive paint what I had. I made it across the front piece and 2/3 of the way down the side before I ran out of paint. That's how thick I was getting that stuff on there. Let me add some light to the subject. So I ran out right there. I did that bottom piece down there. Then I got the paint I got made locally and sprayed here. And man, that stuff is light. I mean light. Didn't like that. So when I purchased Lemonade, they gave me a can of paint. And I went and shook it up. And it came out like this. Which to me is 2 shades darker. And it looks a lot better. So the internet says, I guess AI answers Google's questions, to wait 24 hours before you do the clear coat. It actually said 12 to 24 hours. So I'm going to let this sit here 12 to 24 hours, and I'm going to hit it with some clear. Then I got to decide whether or not I'm going to go try to let the local place match this paint I got here, or if I'm going to order some from the internet. Paint Scratch usually does a pretty good job. At any rate, I want the same color. I don't care if it matches perfectly to the car. This seems a little dark, and this is definitely light. So I don't know, you know. Long as it's close, I'm not going to lose no sleep. But I tried to put a little bit on here. The edge is close to what that is. But the back, I really couldn't make it dark. So I'm going to take the paint with me so they could try to match it. But let me check the price I paid for it and see if I'm going to try to let the local place do it or order it from Paint Scratch. These are 12-ounce rattle cans. And by the looks of how this is going, I'll probably need 5 cans of this rattle stuff to paint this thing the way I need it. I mean, just 1 can of the paint did the front. Another can will probably do a side. Another can will probably do a side. That's 3 cans. The back will be a half a can. Part of that top will be 4 cans. And then probably 2 more cans to do that. So I'm looking at buying 6 cans. I'll be $500 into painting this thing when I'm done. We're going to paint the whole thing yellow, except the fenders. We're going to wrap the fenders black. We're going to wrap these tail lights black. And then we're going to put some stripes and decals on them wrapped. So that's where we're at. Think about buying new latches. We got the latches off. Straightened this thing out pretty good. It was banged up, but it's pretty straight. I think it'll seal fine. And they did a darn good job making this trailer. If I would have designed the trailer, it would have been just like this. It is very nice. Mita wants to put a new handle there, but I think we can get away with painting this one black after we get it cleared and everything. I just don't see why we should have to replace those, but we can. She wants to replace them with black ones. We could probably paint them black and be okay. Well, let me put another lock on that thing over there and call it a night. I don't know if I could get lemonade in here. Probably not. So I'm going to leave the cars on the street for tonight and get out of here. More work than I was wanting to get into. Well, folks, I guess we're going to kick off the Tinker Day because it's supposed to rain all day around here. I was thinking about going for my walk, and I don't know if I can make my walk without getting rained on. So I'm going to lay low, get to working on this engine and transmission on this yellow. And if I get everything done that I expect and want to get done today, I might pull that crank sensor out of there and see if I could get that thing going. But I need to get on this yellow car ASAP. And I don't know why this is so jacked up. Probably because this ain't on right. Let me fix this corner and go have breakfast. Yep, it's just starting to rain again. Well, I'm gonna have to somewhat put this back together, at least get that top back over here on here. This thing has a few issues. A couple lights are worn out. I'm gonna check the pricing on those. But the finishing of it's on hold. Financial budget doesn't call for it right now, so maybe after I get some more work done and stuff, I can get back to this. But hey, this thing is gonna look real nice. I got some clear on that piece right there. So this piece is kind of officially done. I had a paint chip on there. I should have left the paint chip on there, just clear coated it on there, but I tried to get it off. Made a little bit of mess. However, the rest of this thing's got to get painted. So it took one can of paint to come across under here in the front piece. Really, it'll take 6 cans of rattle paint to properly paint this thing. At $100 a pop, that's $600 worth of paint in a rattle can. So I'm getting ready to order a sprayer, because this is not like a real smooth surface. This is kind of rough, texturized for some reason. I don't know who texturized it. I doubt it came like that. At any rate, it doesn't matter if it's orange peel or what. As long as the paint is on there good, it'll look good. You know, good, shoot, 3-footer. If the paint's on there good, that'll cut the cost in less than half. So instead of $600, the paint will cost about $180 plus the sprayer. With everything, including the sprayer, I'll be under half cost. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I got things of higher priority prior to that. So I'm going to cover this thing back up, move it over there, put the dolly back up here, so that we could get a car in here without the risk of scuffing it up on the wall or on that wheel. I could get lemonade in there, the 850s in there, but I doubt I could get an S60 in here. That is real tight. The S60 is probably 4 or 5 inches wider. So anyway, let me go have my breakfast before I get on this. It's not raining hard, just a few drops, but man, I'd like to get my walk in. I just hate getting soaking wet. Maybe I'll grab my umbrella and go for my walk. Health is important. Let's get moving. What I have here is ECU and TCU computers. These were pulled out of running cars. If If you need one, let me know which one you need. It's probably most important to me to get this large number here and try to match that up to the one you have for a replacement. I have some that are from manuals, from 850 GLTs, from T5Rs. I have them tuned, just all kind of. So if you need one, let me know. Not all of them are listed on my website. Here is a pair of rare 850 rear mud flaps. Part number 3542926. Probably the right side. 3542925 is the left. Left's always odd number, right's the even number. Here I am, folks, down here at the salvage yard at this 960, picking up a few parts. I'm getting a part off the air conditioner this time. And man, it's getting kind of warm down here. Let me see if I get this part off real quick. Out here checking out this C70. Don't look half bad. Must have been sitting somewhere, rodent eating the engine cover up. Guess it's a low pressure turbo car. It's probably the first C70 I seen. Didn't have the Dolby in the top of the dash. A few other junky things going on with this car, but the roof is stuck open. I don't know why that's here. And it does have the bracing under it that people like to use to stiffen up their 850s, but they bent that a little bit with the forklifts. Imagine that don't matter that much, but here it is. So a lot of oil under this car. My guess is they ran it out of oil and locked the engine up. But hey, muffler and tailpipe stuff looks okay. Probably a good muffler on it. Alrighty. Somebody got the control arms. Door moldings look halfway decent, and I almost missed this. Had a stuck caliper. Ate right through that dang rotor. Hey, it had rear mud flaps. Somebody want those, let me know. They don't look the best, but one's missing. I'm out. What's happening, party people? This is one of my favorite flashlights. I got it from Dogman Dan, probably the #1 dog trainer on the planet. He was kind enough to gift this to me, another light or two, but the battery charge had gone down from, I think they said it's supposed to last 2 hours to like 8 minutes. So I didn't want to let go of it. I contacted the company. They couldn't help me with nothing. They just want me to buy a new one for 50 bucks. And the clip is broke on the back. Battery was dead. Actually, it was swelled up pretty bad. So I took it out. I found a battery that was a perfect match for it. Here it is. Found it on the internet and ordered it from China. And I'm going to go ahead and install it in this thing. So first thing you want to do is pull out those 2 screws. Take the bottom off. And I believe the whole unit pushes up from the top after you unscrew this thing here. So I'm going to unscrew this as well. So I don't know if I could do that. What you looking at? But heck, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try, folks. I think it's turning. I must have used some pliers or something to get that thing out last time. Let me use one of these screwdrivers to try to twist this thing in here counterclockwise. There it is. It's turning. It's turning. Try to screw that out. You may be able to use some needle nose pliers or something. Get that thing started out better. But you got to get that out too. So let me continue to get that out. Don't want to bore you guys. Take these two Phillips out the bottom and show you how it comes apart. Well, that doesn't screw apart. You put something pointy under there and pry it up. Get it out of there. All right, I got that out. I got that out. Got that out. I'm going to clean these up. It's got a sealed gasket there. Got a light holder there. If you want to clean it up, use some kind of alcohol solution. Very, like 30% alcohol. Unscrew these two things on the bottom. Hey, the screws can magnetize right on the bottom so you don't lose them. Now, I believe you can slide this thing up and out of here. Let me check it and get back with you. Not sure if it matters 100%, but I'm going to take these two out the back too. That could be holding it down. Holding the board in there. Ah, man, it felt like the thing got looser up here, up top. I got 3 screws in there. Yep, there it comes right out the top. Okay. So the battery was soldered right here on these 2 pins here. Let me turn some light on the subject. Right here you see a plus. Right there, that's a minus. So you take this battery and you solder the red onto the plus and the black onto the minus. I don't know if you need to trim those wires or not. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'm gonna see if they fit along the side and not even trim them, just fold them after I solder. So let me go ahead and grab my solder and get with that. Heck, I could probably even put the battery in this way and solder them in like that. Let me go ahead and make sure I got some wires sticking out there, which it looks like I do, and solder them to those pins. Now I'd use this Milwaukee soldering deal. It heats up real fast. I have some solder here if I need it, but it really looks like I don't need no solder. That thing is ready to rock and roll. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm gonna set it here. I don't think I have a tripod handy. So I'm gonna set it here and solder it, and if you can see it, great. If not, I apologize, but it's not that complicated. You just solder it on where it's supposed to be. All right, I got some light there. I got 2 wires here. Black goes on the negative. Red goes on the positive. And let me go get a headlight because I want to see what I'm doing. Back with a headlight on the spotlight. Now, you don't want to overheat this thing because you don't want to damage nothing. And looks like I still have enough solder there where I don't need to add any more. So let me try to get this ground one first and then try to get the positive one. So without melting anything else, I probably need some kind of magnifying glasses because I can't hardly see, but let's see what happens. Man, I just barely touched that solder and it melted. But I got the shake, so my wire didn't attach. Golly. All right, I got that black one. Oh, thought I had that black one attached. I done melted this thing like 4 times already. Not got that attached yet. Let me try it like this. Oh, I think I need some solder. I got it under the thing here. Let me pull a little solder out of here. Man, that's gonna be a task. Getting the solder and the wire and that little position on. Cause I'm not good at this. Let me try to get it all lined up. Alright, that's not working. Let me try again. Maybe I need to break a little piece of that off. Yeah, the soldering iron works. So, alright, I got a little piece of solder there now. Let me see if I could heat this wire up on there. Think I got it. Finally got it. Hope it ain't touching nothing else it ain't supposed to. Alright, let me see if this other thing will melt. I need a little solder there too, it looks like. Alright, I got a little solder there. See if I can get this wire on there. Looks like I will be able to. I'm getting, oop. I don't know what that was all about. Turn the switch off. Maybe the switch is on. I don't know if y'all seen that or not. But the light came on. I don't know if I got enough solder there. Oh, now I got enough solder there now. Wow. I might need to strip the solder off of that thing now. I don't have too much solder there. Yeah, I think I need to strip the solder from off of that thing. Alright, I know I got enough there now. Alright, should be on. Whew, that was harder than I expected. Whew, and we got a working light, folks. So there's the solder job I did. The light's working. And I don't know how long it's going to work because I didn't know the battery was charged. But what I'm going to do is run the battery down. Well, first put it back together, turn it on, and check it every 10 minutes. See how long it burns, and then put it on the charger and do that again. So let me go ahead and put this back together. Okay, I folded the battery in like that with the circuitry up. With it pressed in there, it is touching that, but it's got some protection on there and the light's still working. So I'm gonna go with that. Slide it up in the case. Put those 3 screws on this. Put the 2 screws in the bottom. Put that back together after I cleaned it off. The light assembly parts there, and we'll make sure it works again and then fire it up, let it run down. This little rubber piece came loose somehow. It sticks in that hole to let you know it's on and stuff like that. And it changes colors, I think, when it is starting to die. So let me poke that through that hole. I don't know where the other end of it goes to, but I got to get it in there. I used that little screwdriver there to poke that back through there. Now I'm going to slide it in the case. When I slid it back in, a rubber gasket popped out. This thing is supposed to be waterproof, so I'm trying to make sure your rubber gaskets are in right. I got those 3 screws in the clip. I'm getting ready to put the 2 screws in the bottom. Then I'm going to clean that off and snap that back in the lens position. So I put that white piece on top of the light, there was a little white piece on the back of it that tried to fall off of it, so I made sure I got that on right. Then I put the fisheye lens on it. Then I put the weather gasket on top of that. Then I snapped this in place. So we should be good to go. The light is totally back together. And let me see what time it is, and we're going to check it every 10 minutes. Again, I don't know what they decided to charge it at, but it's 1:20 p.m. right now. The light works. It has a bright and a dim function. You hold the power button in, and as you can see, it's dimming. It's all the way dim when it flickered. I'm going to put it on full bright though, so let me hold it in until it gets to full bright. It should flicker. Now it's full bright. Let's leave this thing on and check it every 10 minutes, see how long it lasts. Then we'll put it on the charger and run it through another cycle. It has a micro mini USB charger. See, the light is, I don't know, that's kind of yellow, so I don't think that'll last real long. I think it goes from a green to a yellow to a red. So we'll check it every 10 minutes. Let's get cracking. To be honest with you, I've never noticed a yellow warning light on there. I've always seen green to red, never seen a yellow. 10 minutes later, it's still rocking and rolling. Let's hit 10 more minutes. It's been going 24 minutes. Just started another 10-minute counter. So here we are, an hour and a half later, and this thing is still burning. So I'm gonna keep timing it. It's hit the brightest setting. I'm gonna see how long it lasts. I didn't even charge it up. It was already charged up at some degree. So maybe it was charged up all the way. Now I'm still not convinced that I put this little thing back where it belongs, but it normally has a green light and goes to red, so I may not have that right, but hey, I ain't worried about that. As long as it works, I ain't worried about an indicator. So I'm gonna let this thing burn down to nothing, and then I'm going to charge it up. Let's check it in 20-30 minutes. Here we are, an hour and 50 minutes, and it's looking like my little indicator is turning red. I don't know if you all remember me redoing this porch about 3 years ago, which included filling in with concrete and stuff like that. Well, this thing is back at it, looking all junky, so I'm about to paint it again. This time I'm not doing any filler. I'm just trying to scrape off the loose paint, sweep it off, dust it off, and paint this thing. So thing that I was kind of surprised and found out is that it has a curing time of 72 hours, which I can not come out of it in 72 hours, but I'm not sure if Elizabeth and the dog can stay off of it for 72 hours. We'll see. We're about 2 hours and 7 minutes in. As you can see, the light is flashing, and the flashlight is getting dim, so I'm gonna check it again every 10 minutes. But it's finally starting to die. The light is out, like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's throw it on the charger. Has the red light on the charger. That's a good thing. It should turn green when it's fully charged. It is now, I guess, 3:45. I'll check it every 30 minutes. Hour and a half still charging. 2 hours still charging. And it is fully charged 2.5 hours later. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.